Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Snap video. This is an unplanned video. I'm traveling, so you can see the background's quite different. I'm on my laptop, but we've got some exciting news, and I was like, you know what? I've got to do a video on this. So, roadmap, March 2023. Oddly enough, I've got a video coming out tomorrow where I'm talking about some of the problems that it seems like they're addressing here. Now, I'm going to still let that video come out tomorrow. Like I said, I'm traveling. I think the points still hold true. And these are some things that we don't have set dates for sure for. So that video will be that video. Check it out tomorrow. And let's talk about what they've got here in this roadmap, because I will say it is really, really exciting. I have to say I'm pleased. You know, I've played a lot of different games and I've seen roadmaps and all these different things. And I like everything that they're seeing in here. So we're going to go through this a little bit. If you haven't seen this, buckle up, because there are big changes coming. If you have seen this, then I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are specifically to this. And I'd also love to hear from you what you think about my thoughts, if they're good or bad, or if you differ on anything. So they basically say that they've been having a blast exploring the different seasons, looking at them, what's going on. They've launched a bunch of new Series 5 cards, balanced things, and some of us even got to infinite rank. They're basically talking about all of the things that happened so far, and then they talk about what's happening next. So they've got three, if you're not familiar with their roadmaps, they've got three sections. Coming soon, which is basically could happen in a week or two. In development, which is they're sort of working on code and engineering and stuff along those lines. And then in concept, which is more, I'd say, like thematic. They're probably just like, they've got focus boards and they're drawing on whiteboards, or, you know, thinking schematically about everything. So we're going to focus a little bit on all of it. The first part is coming soon. New competitive mode called Conquest. Card acquisition improvements, which is something I talk about a lot in my video tomorrow. Token shop revamp. Also talk about that. It's really exciting. Ranked mode improvements. Infinite rank revamp. All of these sound very exciting, but the devil is always in the details. So let's see what they give us on those. In development, PC widescreen UI. I've mentioned this before. I'm excited to see it. Smart decks. I don't really care so much about that. Avatars and titles by deck. Also don't care. Personalized shop. Maybe global matchmaking could be cool, just so we can play basically anybody and everybody. That could be kind of fun. And then in concept, they've got guilds and social systems, which is the thing I want to see the most. PC controller support. Don't care about it all. Seasonal audio. I think it'd be cool to have some different audio from time to time. That's fine. Mythic variants, also cool. Collectible emotes and card emojis, I'm down. Test deck mode. I know what this already is a little bit, so I will say that I'm potentially excited about this, and I will mention what I think they should do with it, because I think they've got a decent foundation here, but there is one problem that I see with that I really don't like. So the coming soon section. So let's just jump straight to Conquest. What is it? Conquest takes the battle mode that we're currently doing when you've got a code with somebody and you fight, but they're saying this is going to take it to the next level. Players are going to be able to queue up against other players to face off in battle mode, and you're also going to get rewards. Winning a series of battles here without a loss unlocks tickets to a higher level of leagues against tougher opponents. The culmination of all this is it's battle mode without a code. You can just queue up. There's ranking and tickets to get higher, so you're going to get some rewards from it based on where you land. Fantastic. All of this, I think, is great. What's interesting to me is, how is this going to differ than our current ranking climbing ladder right now? I get how it's different from what I get, but if I'm thinking about what do I want to do for my day, I've got an hour to play Snap. I've got 2 hours to play Snap. Whatever my time is, whatever your time is, what am I doing? I get nervous when games start adding a whole bunch of stuff for me to do. But outside of that, I really like what they're talking about here. So they culminate all of this with an Infinity League at the end of each season. So you are going to be striving and driving to not just be infinite rank, but get to the Infinity League. Okay, so that's where it's like, that's the concept of what are you going to focus on? That's what worries me a little bit. Players will battle their way to the top to claim ultimate victory and the best rewards. Ultimately, I like it. I think it's going to be successful. I just hope that they're very careful with what they do there. When you queue up for your Conquest match, you'll start by choosing which league to compete in. These are the leagues they're going to have: Proving Grounds, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Vibranium, or Infinite. All right, so that's it. Again, very similar thing, but you're going to be matched up with other people. Now, I do like this a lot for the endgame players as well, because I feel like they need a lot of stuff to do. You need all of those, elite card game players to have a way to like really just go at each other and get some rankings and try to see how they do. Proving Grounds is always available to play. Great, I think it's wonderful. But players need the corresponding ticket to access anything for a higher tier. The tickets are earned by winning a league series in the previous tier. The example they give is that if you win in silver, you'll earn a gold ticket. So I assume like you win a game in silver, maybe you get a gold ticket, so you can now go fight once in gold. And then you'll be able to fight in those different matches as you go. So if you run out all your gold tickets and silver tickets and bronze tickets, you probably got to go back to Proving Grounds to get some bronze tickets. You're in bronze, you keep getting silver tickets. And then if you're in silver and you keep winning, you get gold tickets. But once you run out of your silver tickets, then you got to go back down to bronze. I think that's how it's going to work, which I think is interesting. So you've got to sort of keep the tickets to stay where you're at. Now, could people just get to infinite and stop playing? I'm done. I'm not going to do more tickets. I'm good. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Players win a league series by defeating 3 consecutive opponents. Again, I think this sounds really neat. In addition to tickets for higher leagues, each victory grants medals that can be used in the Conquest shop to unlock exclusive rewards. There's a brand new Conquest shop every season with new cosmetics, including a seasonal exclusive variant that can only be unlocked in the Conquest shop. Like everything that they're doing here, it makes me think of, the Dave & Buster's out there. You get a whole bunch of tickets and you go and you get that Voltron ring and you're just like, that's the one I want. I got it. I got my tickets for it. So what are they going to have in the store? Is it going to be a bunch of junk, or are you going to get that exclusive Voltron ring? We think that the battle mode is a super fun way to play Marvel Snap, and Conquest lets you play battle mode whenever you want. Against the best competition for the best rewards. The team is actively developing Conquest, and we ran their first company-wide playtest last week. They're hoping to release it in June. So that's pretty big news. They're hoping to release that in June. I think it could be a huge success depending on how it works out, but I think it's something fun. Again, I've already said what I'm slightly worried about. Now, this is probably the biggest part of this whole post, and the part I think everyone's going to be caring about the most. Card acquisition improvements. Every new card release in Marvel Snap should be exciting and impactful. I agree. Currently, it's not. They recognize that. We want players to wonder how the card could unlock new possibilities for fun or win matches, and be able to actually play out those dreams. What a concept. My thumbnail for tomorrow literally says, "Let me play." We've heard your feedback that we're not meeting these expectations right now. It's time to change that. We're increasing the rate that players earn tokens, right? Okay, thumbs up to that. Including a huge boost for Series 3 players that brings them in line with Series 4 and 5 players. What a concept. These changes will give all players equal opportunities to unlock brand new cards for themselves, whether you're in Series 3 or beyond. Now, this is where the next 2 points here are huge, like honestly huge. I almost wish to the point where man, I wish I would have just started after this. More tokens. We're increasing the amount of tokens earned on the collection level track for all players who have not yet collected all Series 4 and 5 cards. Starting at collection level 500, players will be able to earn between 200 and 600 tokens in collector's caches and collector's reserves, regardless of whether they have completed Series 3 or not. So those 2 boxes that you get on the collection ladder, when you get to the collector's caches, the purple ones, or the collector reserves, the orange ones, you're going to have the opportunity to get some additional tokens, which normally you weren't able to get those until you got Series 3 complete. So they're making that way earlier, which is great. This is an increase of 4 times for players who have not yet completed Series 3. Once a card series is complete, caches that would have contained a card from that series will now be replaced with 100 tokens. All of these changes will result in more tokens for more people. Now, before we move on from this, there's a sentence here. Once a card series is complete, caches that would have carried a card from that series will now be replaced with 100 tokens. So I do want to relook at this a little bit because I thought that it was 400 tokens. So again, reading this, once a card series is complete, caches that would have contained a card from that series will now be replaced with 100 tokens. So when I look at this graphic, before this, my understanding was that when you finish Series 3 card here, that you were able to get 400 tokens, but it was anywhere from 2 to 6, so they averaged it to 4. So now the way I read this is that instead of that opportunity, you will now only get 100 tokens. Correct me if I'm wrong here. So yes, you get stuff earlier, and I think it's fine, but as somebody who's got the opportunity to do math and is more familiar with how this works, I'd love to hear your comments below. Ultimately, though, they say these changes will result in more tokens for more people. So, I mean, I guess I'm going to have to take them at their word for it. I do get a little worried when I was like, wait a minute, I thought it was more tokens than that, but we'll see. Now, the more exciting part of this, maybe more exciting, but I think the cooler part of it, at least for me, choose your card. Series 3 cards now have their own section in the shop. That is phenomenal by itself. Once per season, again, once per season, players who have not completed Series 3 will be able to claim one free, again, not done with Series 3, will be able to claim one completely free Series 3 card to help them fill out their favorite deck and take a step closer to fill out their collection. Now you can save your tokens for Series 4 and 5 cards. This to me is absolutely like winner, winner, chicken dinner. So every single season you can pick one new Series 3 card. So you know what? They drop a bunch of cards to Series 3 that you don't have. Guess what? You will be able to claim one of those. I think this is a fantastic idea. It is a great catch-up mechanic. I think it's one of the things that they should have had for a long time. I'm glad they did it now. You don't need to wait long before these updates. Both of these changes will be in our next patch, which, you know, we don't know if it's going to be the 21st. There's some speculation on whether that'll be there or not, but I think these are fantastic. So token shop revamp. What are they doing here? All good, by the way. Spoiler. Token shop is an awesome way to target your cards that you want the most, but we think they can do better. Yes, you can. They're dividing the token shop into different sections that will allow players to target new and desirable cards faster. I think that is phenomenal. We're also revamping the look and feel of the token shop so you can swipe through to see what's new. Wait, swipe through to see what's new? What do you mean? Weekly Spotlight. When a new Series 5 card is released, Master Mold for instance, it will immediately be featured in its own section for the first week in Marvel Snap. Once you buy the Weekly Spotlight card, this section will be hidden until the next new card is released. If you want the newest cards at release, this is how you do it. I'm not at this point. I can't do it yet. I need to get the tokens and get to the point, but I love this for the game. I think this is exactly what needs to happen. I understand that some people might have had the tokens, but they'd have to wait for the shop to refresh so they got it. This is just, again, awesome. Series 4 and Series 5. This section will function nearly the same as previously, but it only features Series 4 and 5 cards. Again, clap. They're gonna focus just those cards in that section. This section will feature a card you don't own from all currently available Series 4 and 5 cards and rotates every 8 hours, which is what we're used to. Series 5 cards will be added to this section once they leave the Weekly Spotlight. So you're not gonna get a new card in this section. That new card is gonna be in the new card section. As soon as it's done in that week, for that 1 week, it'll drop to this section. Again, big thumbs up. Ultimate variants. Ultimate variants are some of the most epic variants in the game. We felt they deserved their own section too. Awesome, I totally agree. I hated when an ultimate variant took up a spot for something I was waiting for, especially given how expensive they are. We're moving ultimate variants out of the way of seeing Series 4 and 5 cards into their own rotation for those who want to make their decks that much cooler. We're aiming for these changes to make the April patch. All right, I think that is phenomenal. So maybe that patch is in April, but you know, they were talking about the card acquisition stuff for the next patch. So maybe this token revamp is the April patch. Now, the one thing I do have a question about this though is they don't mention how the Series 3 cards are going to show up here. I hope that they still have a Series 3 section here. And I mean, unless I just glanced over it, I don't remember seeing that. So I hope that is something that it's not just going to be weekly, 4 and 5, and ultimate. If that's what the token shop becomes, that's not fun either. You know, it's like, well, I need the tokens for my Series 3 cards. So I'm really hoping they have that done properly. Ranked mode improvements. We've been hearing your feedback about ranked mode, and we agree it's time for changes. Agreed. Ranked mode is a tough feature to get right, and we want to find the right balance through some additional iteration. We're making a few updates before our next season that will address issues with players feeling unable to progress or players that feel that they are not facing worthy opponents. Again, I will tell you right now, everything they have in here is absolutely amazing. And honestly, I can't say that enough. For all the games that I've played, I really hope they keep on this path because these are the type of things that you want to see in a game. And I've said that before in games, but man, this is just giant thumbs up. Matchmaking algorithm. We're improving our matchmaking algorithm to create higher quality matchups for all players. And wait for this. including an update that will prevent players from matching against an opponent more than 30 ranks away. You weren't in Infinite, you were sick of playing players in Infinite, and you're below 70, it's not going to happen anymore. I think that's awesome. There might be more to that in a second. Infinite and MMR floor. When someone reaches Infinite rank, they're going to take a snapshot of their MMR matchmaking ranking. For the rest of the season, their MMR cannot fall below that value. This change is to address players that could intentionally lose many games at the Infinite rank floor to drop their MMR for next season. You'll still be able to increase your MMR while playing in Infinite rank. I think this is great. They had that Agatha situation where people would just bot out Agatha and lose tons of games and their MMR would tank and then they'd skyrocket back to Infinite again. This is the fix for that. Again, giant thumbs up. Infinite versus Infinite matchmaking. This is what I was alluding to. Players that reach Infinite rank will only match against other Infinite rank players. Again, phenomenal. So when somebody hits Infinite and just starts snapping like crazy and you're not there yet and it's driving you nuts, not going to happen anymore because you shouldn't be matched against them. These are absolutely just, again, I mean, checking so many boxes. I think they're really doing this right. They know that more work can be done. They think the current journey to reclimb to a previous season's rank is too difficult. To that end, they're still exploring changes to how many cubes are required per rank, how many bonus cubes are granted when a player achieves a new tier, and potentially how much of a reset has occurred each season. These numbers are actively being crunched right now, so we don't have more details to share, but rest assured, our goal is to deliver a satisfying seasonal experience for players who wish to get better at the end game, or at the game, and see their rank increase as a result. So I like this. They clearly, and this was part of what I was alluding to earlier with this conquest mode, is look, ranking up just to Infinite by itself is super difficult. You know, I think they even said 1% of the players are able to do that. And then you're gonna add a new game mode. Well, they're already thinking about how to make the current rank up system a little bit easier. So I love seeing that. They've also got a lot of feedback around that matchmaking MMR and why they don't simply match by rank. And this is an important point too, because they bring something up here that some people might not be thinking about. The team has been weighing the positives and negatives of both of these options. In a pure match by rank situation, it can lead to an awful start of the season experience as players are matching up against opponents who are far superior to them. And I have to agree. If they just do it match by rank, that makes things really, really hard at the beginning of the season because somebody who was maybe not meant to match up with some of these Infinite players and they're ranked 30 or 40, they're just getting blasted by these like super high level endgame players, and that's not going to be fun for them at all. However, they are exploring alternate ways of matchmaking to try and deliver a more satisfying overall experience, as there are some upsides by matching by rank, so they obviously recognize that. But they have got some issues, like I mentioned. They have some ideas that they think they can capture the best of both worlds. They're going to try the updates to the matchmaker in future seasons. So they're going to share more details when that comes out or once they get closer to. Infinite rank revamp. This is kind of fun as well. For most of us, the climb to Infinite rank has been our peak achievement. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, I feel like that's like, yes, I finally got there. We're completely revamping Infinite rank. Wait a minute. So your experience doesn't end at Infinite. Oh, okay. It's just the beginning? What are you doing? We want to create an exciting and fair battleground for our most skilled players to complete on the Infinite rank leaderboard. Infinite rank leaderboard. That sounds cool. Once players reach Infinite rank, they are separated into their own ecosystem that will highlight two important numbers. Basically, there's a ranking system within Infinite. There's going to be a skill rating score. This score is your personal rating score. It's similar to your matchmaking ranking. You'll be able to see how your skill rating score matches after each match. If you're more interested in increasing your personal skill from season to season, it's for you. And I like this because those endgame players are now not just going to be like, well, I got to rank 600. And they're going to be like, well, yeah, but I played bots for the last 400 levels because they're not playing anybody. I hope that in this, that's something that they talk about or deal with because, I mean, yeah, if I get to rank, 150 and I just play bots or 200 and play bots, then this number could go through the roof and it, sort of like gives an asterisk to the leaderboard rank, which they've got here. Your friend has always claimed that they're the best Marvel Snap player. Now they're going to find out. This is the leaderboard number based on the ranking order of each Infinite player's skill rating score. So I think that's great. They're going to have a leaderboard to it so we can see who's cool, who's top, all that sort of thing. I hope that you can see outside of the top 100 and see where you rank. I think that's going to be awesome. they're fine-tuning this experience and visuals. They're currently scoping out the work, and they're hoping to release it as soon as possible. More details to come. And then they've got the in development section. Again, these are the sections that they're just thinking about a little bit. The widescreen UI, smart decks, avatars, personalized shop, global matchmaking. And then they've got the in concept, which again, this is schematics, where it's, guilds. And honestly, I want to talk about that for a second. I hope they do that right. I know it's in concept, but what I'd like to see in guilds is some sort of or some sort of system so that it encourages guilds to not just have all of the strongest players with all of the best cards, that it also encourages people to group up with their friends. If somebody's got a collection level of 500, okay, that's fine. It's like, is that going to hurt our guild or a clan? I'm assuming it will, because of however the clan wars or whatever they're going to have, however that works. But it'd be nice if there was a way that they sort of allow that so you can bring in new players into stuff, but we'll see. And then they've got the emotes, the variants, test deck mode. And they talk about test deck mode. And this is the last thing they've got here. And I want to talk about this for a second. This is how I on the video. Where's unranked mode is what they say. What's this test deck mode, they say? We know that players want a quick and easy way to try out new decks or strategies. Since global launch, we've been talking about the idea of an unranked mode as a solution to this problem. But as we explored this feature, we found that unranked mode comes with some not so great additional challenges. They don't say what those are. We can speculate a little bit. We'll get to that in a second. So we set out to reimagine what this feature could be, and Test Deck evolved from there. We're considering adding a button to the deck editing screen that will let you instantly hop into a low-stakes game against the computer. We're still in early stages of concepting here, but we'd love to hear your thoughts on new path. Okay, so this is my thoughts, is the AI sucks. The computer is, we've all lost the bots here and there, it happens. But unless the AI plays better than Agatha and plays better than Ego, this isn't gonna be a great way to test a deck. It's just not. I mean, yeah, it'll let me play it. It'll let me put it in there. It will let me see it. So in that regard, yes, it's fine, it's great. But I don't think it's really going to check the box for some people. But you know what? Battle mode will. So if you really want to test out a deck and see how it works against somebody, you just tell that person that you want to play against, I want to do it in battle mode. Not conquest, but battle mode. I'm hoping they keep battle mode and then add conquest, and so that battle mode becomes the sandbox. So if that's the case, if we've got battle mode as the sandbox, I don't even know if you need test deck, frankly. Just keep battle mode and just meet up with your friend and say, hey, I'm not going to tell you what my deck is. I'm just going to go fight it. We're going to see how this goes. But try this one, try this one, try this one. So that's my thoughts on this. But now if they're scrapping battle mode completely to evolve into conquest, then yeah, I mean, I don't know if I dig just playing against the AI, unless it has a way to be a little bit smarter or better than what we're currently facing. It doesn't feel that great. You know what I mean? I don't love it. I don't think it's all that exciting. So anyway, that's what my thoughts are on this. Again, I feel like they knocked this out of the park. Random video from who knows where, but I'm alive here, wanted to cover it. Hopefully this is something that you've been looking forward to. Let me know what your thoughts are on all these changes. And like I said, excited. If you want to hammer down that like button, click the notification bell, appreciate it. Share with your aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews. Appreciate that too. All right, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.